But anyway, today's about Tom Brady, as it should be. Super Bowl 51, Mina, you covered the game. What do you remember about that comeback?
Yeah. Well, okay, so I don't have stories about sacking Tom Brady or competing against him, but I did have to write about him, and I'll just tell you this. When that Dante Hightower strip sack happened in the fourth quarter, I had a whole column about the Atlanta Falcons written, and I immediately knew. Throw it out the window. And that's the feeling that Tom Brady gave you, that feeling of inevitability. You felt it in the stadium, the dread setting in amongst Falcons fans, the silence, because even though at that point they were still down several scores, everybody knew Tom Brady was going to win the football game. And it's that sense of inevitability that makes him so unique, man, because I don't know if I've ever had a feeling like that watching any other quarterback at that stage.
Wow.
Yeah, listen, the Edelman catch, and I know we showed it, but just the ability not to care about the moment and just continue to play football. That pass should have been picked off, y'all, but it's Tom Brady. It don't happen to Tom Brady. You ain't gonna intercept it twice in the game against Tom Brady on critical plays. And obviously, Edelman made a phenomenal catch. His ability to lock in on that rock with all of the traffic. But it just goes into more and more of what we talk about with this quarterback. And look, in order to be the greatest, and I know a lot of people, like a lot of things that we attribute to these guys are phenomenal, have some luck. You got to have some things bounce the right way. And it seems like it happened time and time again for Tom Brady throughout his career, and he was able to capitalize on it.
It just showed us that if you have Tom Brady, you have a chance. If Tom Brady was Lloyd Christmas, he would have got Mary Swanson's number. I'm convinced of it. He was that dang cold. And so anytime that he was in the building or he was in the arena, he was in the stadium, he's on your team, he's in your locker room, you felt a championship was on the way. And that's exactly what Chris Godwin and Mike Evans said when he became the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He said, we have a chance. We finally got one. And you watched him year after year, and you always felt that whatever team he was on had a chance to be playing on Super Bowl Sunday, and if they were there, you could never count that team out. That day signified that more than any other day in Tom Brady's career to me.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Hey, Marcus, what position does Tom Brady play?
Quarterback.
I just want to hear you say it one more time. This was the game that Tom Brady became the GOAT for me. Leading into that game, it was always Peyton Manning. I thought Peyton Manning was the best quarterback that ever played football, how he revolutionized the position, all of that. And then when I sat there and watched that comeback from Brady, I was like, man, that is doing the impossible. So he's got all the individual statistics, and then truly he's the one guy that kind of, for me, does make quarterback wins matter because he did it better than and more than anybody else in the history of the game.
You know, it's funny, but people of our generation, and I can speak for myself here, even as this news started to come out, I don't really remember the NFL without Tom Brady. It's hard to even think about what it could be like. Let's bring Adam in here with a little bit more on that specific game against the Falcons, Super Bowl 51. What do you remember about it, Adam?
Well, first of all, that's a specific commentary on how young you actually are, Laura, the fact that you can't remember an NFL without Tom Brady. As for that Super Bowl, let me just say, sitting in the stands, in attendance that day, and it was 28-3, and people are thinking it's over, the celebration's begun, Mina Kimes has begun running her column lauding the Atlanta Falcons, and then all of a sudden you could just feel, as soon as the New England Patriots made another play or two or three, I turned to the people I was watching the game with, and I said, this game is over. We've seen this play before. We know how it ends. And everybody in the stadium that day could feel it coming. You knew it was coming, and it was time to sit back and watch history.
It feels like we have to just do the obligatory apology to Falcons fans who may be watching right now because it's just pain over and over and over again.
That's correct, young
Thanks,
Laura.
Adam.
That's correct.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.